going forward, I know Dana White has mentioned a move up to middleweight for Khamzat Chimaev. Now going forward, where do you see him fitting in to the UFC? Because it almost seemed like we were trying to usher him into that 170-pound opportunity at welterweight, which he may be too big for now.
You know what's crazy is his coach Andreas Michael said yesterday, the next one will be at middleweight because he loves everything about the process, Ryan, but the weight cut. He just came flat out and said it.
Okay.
But that leads to my question. It's like he's going down to 170. Everybody's kind of ushering him there. Well, Israel Adesanya gets through Alex Pereira. He's starting to lap his division. Why wouldn't a very fresh new guy in Khamzat Chimaev be welcomed at middleweight? And he will. So it's like, because I always wonder, right? When I look at these guys like Chimaev that dominate in the way that they do, I always ask myself this. When I put him against Robert Whittaker, do you favor him? Paulo Costa, do you favor him? When I put him against do you favor him? Dude, if he fought Alex, he would be a massive favorite because of the way that he fights. Because Pereira's a striker. He hasn't been in the game long enough to defend takedowns. It's like, how many of those guys would you favor Khamzat Chimaev to beat? And when you answer that question, it's many of them.
Right.
Because of his fighting style. And we saw it on full display with Kevin Holland, who at one point was in the top 10 at middleweight. So the guy is a very viable contender. I mean, right now you just take him out of welterweight, where he's the number 3 guy in the world, and you drop him in the middleweight, and he's probably somewhere in the top 10 right now.
Yeah.
So he could compete there. He's very good there. It's just a matter of convincing a guy when they've had that much success at one weight class that he needs to go up. And we've talked about this now, RC. We've waxed poetic for 5 minutes. We haven't even talked about the fight.
Right.
We haven't even talked about what he did in the actual fight to Kevin Holland because we have seen high-level middleweights beat Kevin Holland. Marvin Vettori. We've seen Derek Brunson beat him. But no one did to Kevin Holland what Khamzat Chimaev did the other day. It was a complete wipeout.
DC, you know what else I don't talk about? The sun coming up. You know why? Because as long as I'm alive, the freaking sun comes up, DC. At some point, if it's even raining, I know it's daytime, DC. At some point, the morning comes. Just like we all knew that fight was going to be taken to the ground and Khamzat Chimaev was going to win that way. And please don't sell me on that, oh, it's a fight game, RC, and you got to let the fights happen.
Right.
And you don't know. It was dominant, DC. And we know.
RC, you could not think it was that clear, right? Like there had to be a part of you that when it became Kevin Holland, you had to go, okay, Kevin Holland has some submission skills. Kevin Holland has knockout skills. You had to feel a little bit better about it, right, Ryan? Like just a little bit better about the matchup. He's younger. He's longer. He's not fighting this killer at the tail end of his career. This was a guy that is on a 2-fight win streak. Fantastic down the weight class. Like you had to think, Ryan, that was some sort of chance for him.
DC, why did he move down, DC? Because he was fighting wrestlers that were bigger than him, that were dominating him on the ground, right? His wrestling was not, he admitted it. He said he had to go work on it. There have been people that have invited him to all these different camps so he can learn to wrestle. And he fought probably the most, maybe other than like Islam Makhachev at 155, he fought maybe the most dominant wrestler in the welterweight class who's actually a middleweight. It's just a continuation of what we were seeing anyway, DC. And you're going to sit here and tell me you thought it was going to be different? Come on, DC. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
Hey, my boy RC feel disrespected. RC, you feel played? It looked like you feel played a little bit.
DC, I don't feel played as much as like I get it's our jobs to come on here and talk about the fights and continue to do a show and to do a very good show. But I'm not going to come on here and lie, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, we knew that was going to happen. The only thing that excited us a little more than, like, Nate Diaz and Kevin Holland is that Kevin Holland is young and fun, right? Like that was it. We thought it might be exciting, but it wasn't.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.